Sean, loser of the week.
Um, I think I'll give if Dan's going to take Democrats, I'll go with Zelensky.
Okay.
I didn't know.
Dan-
I just did. If he went first, it depends
yeah,
on.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Although he
Dan?
actually could be the winner because he's ultimately, he's not totally. He's going to get something from Trump. Hakeem Jeffries, he just lost control of the caucus, and I'm not sure he has it back yet.
Can I get a B, Mark? I will say this. It is personally, as a guy who doesn't like change, I'm really pissed that Skype is going away May 15th. I don't want to get onto Microsoft Teams, and they announced that Skype was being eliminated.
Let's
And
put together a consortium and buy it. Keep it going.
Yeah,
Um, but to me, loser of the week is it was Hakeem Jeffries.
yeah.
Your question to Congressman Khanna was gentler than I think you might have done under other circumstances. But he has lost control of the caucus, and he is so afraid of the liberals
but
that
the idea
he
that he's a nice guy, I get it, but that's
yeah,
not
but
you don't need a nice
he
guy
got
to
the
be a
job. He
leader.
got the job in part, and Pelosi supported him in part because she saw him as someone who had good ties to the far left, but would do as she did, which is stand up to the far left when necessary, which she
But
did
the
sometimes.
but he didn't come out of the far left. I mean,
No,
he
correct,
wrote right,
correct. That's why
and
she
that's
liked him.
his right.
That's why she liked him. But he has ties to the far left, and now he's bowing to them in a way that's not productive. Forget ideology. Forget if you believe in the DLC model or not. He did what to say to the caucus in advance. Don't become the story. Make the story Trump's impact, and then to destroy any messaging through the conduct of the caucus. It's mass insubordination, and
You
it's
look at
on him.
you
But
look
I
at Ro
actually
Khanna,
just
right? He just sat there and said he would stake his principle on a 30-70 issue. I mean, I disagree with him, but I believe that he's principled in his stances, right? And that's what you need to sell your caucus on. Guys, I'm with you on these issues, but here's a smart strategy. That's a guy, look, if they listened to Ro Khanna, they wouldn't be dealing with the issues they are today, talking about why didn't you stand for a kid with cancer? They
but
need
I
someone to get up there and say, we know what we stand for, but don't be stupid.
but I think the challenge is, Mark, I actually don't think she picked him for his tie. I mean, there are ties that I think are just obvious on the face value, but he rose through the corporate ranks of New York City from his
Oh,
career.
she.
And she liked the fact that when she thought about who could go to donors, who could kind of potentially bridge the two communities, it was Hakeem. And she also thought that he was going to be more patient while and take the job when she was ready to give it. All the other young Turks
I totally
wanted,
agree. I agree with
and
that. I
so
agree. I agree with everything you said. I didn't say she chose. I didn't mean to say she
yeah,
chose him for his ties to the left. She chose him more because of his ties to fundraising
that's
and this
exactly it.
and
And
the
so
center. But she knew also that if she wanted someone like that, it had to be someone who also had ties to the left. When he
yep.
was chosen and anointed, the left didn't squeal at all. They didn't say, "How dare you choose a centrist corporatist?" They said, "Great, he likes us. We can deal with him."
Well, I actually have a different take, Mark. They chose him because they said he's going to be so desperate to keep us happy that we're going to own him. And that's the problem. They own him because he's so terrified. Pelosi was of them. She was of San Francisco. She had done all the work on AIDS. She had done things that she could point to say, I'll get on a microphone and go toe to toe with you with my history versus yours. And she had Maxine and the delegation with her. The problem is the base looks at him and doesn't trust him.
Correct.
He's
Well,
the beggar.
and they're not afraid of him. And
No,
yeah,
he's
he
not a
looks.
tough guy.
I'll tell you this: he looks exhausted every time I
Yep.
see him on camera. He looks exhausted. And yesterday he was asked about what Gavin Newsom said, and he gave this incredibly gobbledygook answer.
Yep.
He has a great reputation. He's a brilliant guy.
Yep.
His historic in his rise, but. This moment calls for understanding and navigating the politics of the caucus. And Tuesday night, I can't think of a parallel. We still don't know why everybody. Congressman Khanna says he stood, and I'm sure he did. I'm sure he's not lying about it. And there are some pictures, but he's one of the few who stood. We still don't know if everybody stayed seated, or as far as I know, did they stay seated organically, or was that the leadership instruction?
Oh, I think it was organic.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh.
I mean,
As
you
far
look
as we
around.
know,
Bottom line is, I've been
I
in those
don't
meetings.
know.
You look around, and
but
you
why
don't want
didn't?
it.
But why didn't
Like,
Hakeem Jeffries stand up for DJ?
Right. I say you set the tone. People
Yeah.
look at the
That's the point.
leadership on that
But that's
stuff.
no, that's right though. You look around, and your leaders aren't standing. You don't stand. There's a reason when those guys all look on the Republican side or on the Democrat, depending on what party's in power, they look at the rostrum and they go, "Oh, you're supposed to stand now. You're
Right.
supposed to sit
But
now."
there's there's one of two choices. It was an order, which was a
Right.
crazy order, or it was organic, but he participated in it. He
Yes.
himself sat there.
If
If
Hakeem
Hakeem
or
had gotten up
Schumer
and
got up,
stand-
You guys-
people would
or-
rise.
correct.
Yeah,
Do you guys want to
if
change your
Kathleen
mind?
Clark or any of those guys had risen, the rest of
Yes.
them would have.
Do you
They
guys
were
want to
looking around
change?
like a
you
bunch
guys
of
want to
second graders trying to figure out what was the right thing to do.
Do you want to change your answer to loser of the week and agree with me that it's Hakeem Jeffries?
I said Hakeem.
I'm asking Sean. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I thought no, but I said if you guys take Democrats, I'm going to
Yeah,
take.
he did.
Right, but
He
I'm
did.
not saying Democrats. I'm saying Hakeem
Hakeem
Jeffries.
Jeffries.
Fine.